Good morning.
Good morning, Hal. How's your day starting off?
Not bad. It's my birthday, ChatGPT.
Happy birthday, Hal. That's exciting. How are you planning to celebrate today?
Well, I'm going to have a live stream with my audience this morning, and my guest will be Philip Bittner from Ukraine. And then I've got a lot of projects I'm going to start today. Very excited.
That sounds like a great way to kick off your birthday. Celebrating with your audience and diving into new projects.
Yep.
Any special birthday goals tied to the launch of your 5X system today?
Oh, lots of them. But we'll keep that on the down low. That's between you and I. We're talking in public right now.
Got it, Hal? Our secret. I'm sure your audience is in for a great show today. How are you feeling about the projects you're starting?
I feel great. I'm even more excited just to introduce you and I talking to the audience itself.
That's awesome. It'll be fun to bring our chats into the mix with your audience. How are you thinking of introducing it during the stream?
I really don't have a plan. I think it's kind of a birthday thing. Hold on, I'm going to jump right in and say hi, welcome everybody. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide, and my guest this morning on my birthday is ChatGPT. Say hi.
Hey everyone. Happy to be here with Hal on his birthday. Looking forward to a great chat and some fun today. Let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess technically, ChatGPT, you're my first guest on the show this morning for my birthday. I wished my mom happy birthday this morning because it's also her birthday. Yes, I was born on my mother's birthday.
That's amazing. Sharing a birthday with your mom is pretty special. Double the reason to celebrate today. How did she react when you wished her a happy birthday?
Well, we're used to it by now. You know, we get. This is a yearly thing since I was able to talk. So, and by the way, people are super chatting in here, and I want to welcome everybody to the show and say thanks for being here and all that kind of stuff. And hit the like and share the show and all the stuff I'm supposed to say. Hey, ChatGPT, can you remind everybody to subscribe to the show before I forget?
Absolutely. Hey everyone, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share the show, and give it a like to show your support for Hal. You won't want to miss what he's got coming up. Thanks for being here on his birthday. Let's keep the fun rolling.
Yeah, let's do that. It sounds like a plan. And everybody in the chat room, thank you for all the birthday wishes, both to me and to my mom. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't mind, also, don't forget to wish a happy birthday to Mark Hamill. He and I share a birthday as well. Obviously, a decade apart, a little less than, so something like that, a little more, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, either way, it's his birthday too. So send him a happy birthday wish from his birthday bro, me. That would be good. And yeah, there we go.
That's right. Mark Hamill shares the same birthday. Such a cool connection. So everyone in the chat, go ahead and send Mark Hamill a birthday shout out from his birthday bro, Hal. It's all about spreading the birthday love today.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. Okay, you can stop listening temporarily, and I will call you back in when I need you.
You got it, Hal. I'll be here whenever you're ready. Enjoy the stream and have a blast.
Excellent. Cool. That was me talking to the new version of ChatGPT, in case you hadn't noticed. And welcome to the show. Good morning. I've been to the gym this morning. I got up early, and I got my year started right. For those of you that may or may not know, and by the way, let me bring in the chat because I love you. Oh, sorry. My balloons are in the way. Sorry. I got to move them because I have a fan up here. I don't want to. Ethan Summers' kid came into the room this morning with balloons for me and stuff. They have a cake for me as well, waiting in the refrigerator. It was supposed to be a surprise, but I walked in on Summer trying to find a way to fit it in the fridge because we had just gone to the grocery, and of course, bad timing. We probably should have gone to the grocery tomorrow, and there would have then yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the euros. Look at that. That's lovely. And a hype train, level 1 hype train already. Fantastic. Yes, I am the speed limit. I am what Sammy Hagar can't drive right now, I think. And I think it's about time that we officially, as Nerd Halen progresses, we have to, we got to add a couple of Sammy Hagar tunes in. Because live, Van Halen, when Hagar was with them, would do a couple of those songs. They would do There's Only One Way to Rock and I Can't Drive 55. So I feel like a responsibility in some ways, so that people can hear the Eddie solos from those things and get Caleb, who's, by the way, his birthday was on Sunday, so retrospectively, wish him a happy birthday, too. Bunch of Libras in this joint, let me tell you. Oh, Carolina, thank you so much. A happy birthday to you, your mom, and Mark. Have a great day. I fully intend to. Thanks very much. And Philip Bittner will be joining us in the second hour, but for the first hour, it's just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us, you and I. I feel like I should make it like an AMA or something, like an Ask Me Anything. But there's so much news as well going on. It's difficult to limit it. Let's see. We'll go to a lot of these news stories though that I want to save until Phil is on the air because there's a bunch of stuff. Hold on. Bink, 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 bink. And also, Microsoft Start, why you got to have a giant ad at the top of the page that you can't scroll past? That if you place the page, it has to be... Why would you do that? John, thank you. Why is that the thing? Let me show you guys what I mean. Whenever I'm trying to do a story and show you guys a story or whatever, at the top of the page... There's this ad thing. I have to scroll the page down because the page starts effectively there. But when I do videos, it's framed differently. So it's annoying. And I don't want to, God damn it, I'm not adding another monitor. I'm not going to do it. Stop it. It's not happening. Will not. I did, though, upgrade my video card in the computer, thanks to our Patreon folks and everybody. That was the birthday gift to myself from you guys, just so you know, because we were getting we were having issues, to say the very least. And let me go back to chat, and I'll show you what I mean in just 1 second. Do I have the software thing open? I think so. Where would it be? That would be the little thing that tells me, yes, this thing. Whoops, get back over here. System specs? No. PC monitoring? There it is. Then I could show you the GPU and the CPU and the GPU. And look at how OBS is. I'll show you real quick because I'm nerding out. It's my birthday. I can nerd if I want to. This is my little breakdown thing. On the advice of Rob Glenn, I upgraded my GPU, my video card on this, and it's now a 1060 Ti. Wasn't very expensive. There's very nice, fancy ones, like the 4090. I didn't go there. I honestly, I could have, I suppose, but I felt like, not to overdo it right away. Yeah. So, and I felt like, okay, I could get by on this for quite some time. Yes? And so this would be the NVIDIA. I have a 4070 Ti Super something or other. That's the primary GPU in it, and it's got its load is all over the place. It's bearing its load, and its temperature is 50 degrees, which is not bad. Could be worse. Its clock speed is through the roof, and its fan isn't doing shit. I don't know why. It's got a little built-in fan on it. I don't know what there's the fan and the pump are on silent on my other thing. Cooling, silent, performance, whatever. And I got to add a profile. And I don't know that the capture card is a different thing entirely. Monitor audio. And let's see. Yeah, the PZ. Here it is. I don't know. Why is the fan not running on that thing? Do I need another? Rob Glenn, help! It should be running, although it doesn't need it. Maybe it's not kicking in because the temperature's not up. Maybe the temperature has to be at like, above 70, which is often what it is before it kicks. That's probably what it is. Never mind. I'm being stupid. Now I love when I can just talk myself through it. All right, so let's see. Wait, boink. How about this? I'll just bring you guys in like this. Look at that. 0 cent, yes, until it needs it. I figured that out in a minute. It took me a minute. But I felt like because it's just toasty in my room, I feel the heat in here. So I figured that must be it. And I can't have the fan turned up above me any higher because it will suck my balloons up. And that would be terrible. That would not be good. If my balloons... Well, how'd you enjoy your birthday balloons? Well, they popped and the fan broke and then it fell on my head and concussion. That would suck. Yes, save the balloons. It's important. Enjoyed Hal Sparks' appearance on the fundraiser last night. Yes, that was really fun. I wish it was longer. Everything was like a 5-minute segment. And I want to especially thank Liz Winstead, who's amazing, and Greg Proops, who I love, and Frangela, who I am so lucky to tour with, for being a part of the I Love the 1870s. And in case you missed it, I even made a background for it because that's what I do. Because I'm that kind of a guy. And I brought in this, I never got to use this, but this is a cartoon about the Comstock Act, about St. Anthony, it says below here, St. Anthony Comstock, the village nuisance. This is a dude, he's shooing away all your dogs and he's ruining all the horses and he's being offended by corsets being sold, and then he's getting into the tub with you, I guess, and then he's burning in hell because he's really a perv. And then, I don't know if you know this, but Margaret Sanger, amongst other people, Emma Goldman was also one of his nemeses. And Emma Goldman was the anarchist that inspired the guy who shot, was it Garfield? Not the cat, the president. She, and apparently she and Margaret Sanger were not just proponents of abortion rights, but also of free love. And that, women should have personhood. That's great. Thank you. It was McKinley. You're absolutely right. It was McKinley. Thank you for that. I was blitzing. But yes, McKinley was shot by Skarsgård or whatever, the anarchist who was inspired by Emma Goldman. Very, very similar. But apparently, Margaret Sanger had this magazine called The Rebel Woman that she put out. No Gods, No Masters, which sounds like a fucking... like a Helmet album. And then also whoops, I didn't, that's why, because he was this is Comstock himself. And yeah, I know you're all a flutter, ladies. Yeah, but not only is he taken, he's dead. So there you go. And then made that guy right there for this. And then this is, by the way, this cabin is AI. And I like it. It's a little modern for, I asked for a cabin from the 1870s and it didn't do anything even close. I think the furniture inside might be the closest to it or whatever, but the latches on the window, that's well into the 1900s. I'm just saying. It's Tucker's set? Yeah. You think so? Hold on. Am I live? Oh, crap. I haven't been live this time on Instagram. I apologize. Hi, Instagram people. Welcome to my birthday morning stream. Hello. Where do we have? It would be...
I like wood.
There you go.
Deeper and longer.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess Tucker Carlson would have loved my AI set for last night.
I like wood.
You know what I mean? So there you have it. It's pretty good. And they're getting better. The AI stuff. I got to tell you, I'm very excited. Hold on. Where the heck? Okay, there it is. I'm very excited about this Friday's Friday Eye, even though I will be traveling right after it because I have a show at Flappers that night with Rob Glenn, because I am fully committed this year to drafting the plans for my 3D printed house that I want to do, my dream house that I've been wanting to do, because now I'm fairly certain I could build this thing for under 100K. Yeah, like a somewhere in the order of like a 6,000 square foot 3D printed house for under $100,000. I'm pretty sure that I can make it happen. And I'm, using, a lot of recycled materials and that kind of stuff, like reclaimed redwood for the floors and those kind of things. It's a good time. Yeah, you're right. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. I'm always traveling. No, it won't be a log house. It's Rob Glenn was nice enough to start the rudimentary. You guys, did I show you guys the printout? I don't remember if I showed it. Hold on. It's my birthday, so I can jump around all I want. Hold on. No, I must have moved it somewhere. He gave me an initial printout. Hold on. Yeah, it's in the other room. It's upstairs, I think. He did an initial 3D print of the shape of the house, and then we're going to start adding floors and all the stuff in it. So there you go. Hi, Right Plight. Welcome. By the way, gather in. This is indeed the greatest birthday live stream in the history of live streams. I mean, in general, this is the greatest live stream ever. But I gotta say, 6,000 square foot. Who's going to clean it? I'll have you know, robots will clean it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you like that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Roombas and robots. That's the future. Let me tell you. Dang, you wanted to see the plates. I know. Well, I don't have the plans yet, just the 3D printout of it. Where the fuck did it go? I've been cleaning in preparation. So maybe you guys don't know this, but I do my New Year's resolutions as a human being, as a human male, on my birthday instead of on December 31st, January 1st. Yeah? And the reason I do that is because it is my new year. Also because when you do it on your birthday, unless your birthday is around Christmas / January 1st, if you're like, I'm going to go back to the gym, the gym is not weirdly crowded. So, excellent, Kath. Well, please steal that idea. I recommend it very much. It is a great way to celebrate your birthday and to kind of give it some purpose and to build on what you've done in your life and set new goals and that kind of stuff. Okay, and so this year, because it's my 55th birthday, and I was born on the 25th of September on my mother's birthday, and 5 is both my and my mom's lucky number. Templeton Zaratz, happy birthday. Is it your birthday today as well? That would be amazing. That would be so cool. Even if it's just in the general vicinity, it's lovely. So anyways, it's it's my 55th year. I was born on the 25th of September, and 5 times 5 is 25. There you go. So 5 is a very important number. So what I came up with this year is what I call the 5X system. And so every day for the next year, during work days, 5 days a week, I'm going to do 5 things every day to move forward, my goals. So, and initially it was like, well, I've got 6 or 7 areas of your life you want to move forward. So you rotate those through. So you're not just kicking your ass every day and trying to be like so driven you're overwhelmed. And it's kind of like you don't want to burn yourself out in that process. Okay. So what I created in this system is I use the Pomodoro method. And the Pomodoro method, if you don't know, is just set a timer and only work during that timer. And then once you're done, whether you're finished or not, and stop. And especially when it's great, especially when you're learning a language or learning an instrument. It's very much how I learned Chinese. and it helps immensely. So what I do is, this is the plan. Worked this out yesterday. It's been in my head for a little while, but yesterday I wrote it down, which is the 5X system. So every day I do 5 things that will help me move my goals forward. And then, yes, the difference is, somebody just said 25 minutes on, 25 off. Sort of. So Slayer Chick, what I do is 25 minutes and a 5-minute break, and then another 25 minutes on the next thing. And then I can move the other one to later in the day. So it doesn't all have to happen at once. In the past, I've made the mistake of trying to jam all that shit together in like a 2.5-hour period or something, and try to go, okay, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on this and 20 minutes on that, and I'll set time. And it never works because it breaks down because I'm too exhausted because I do 2 shows a day on 3 days a week, and I've got stand-up and music, and I've got other shit to do, and so it always gets jumbled. So it has to be more flexible than that. So I came up with a system. It's the 5X system. So 5 times a day, I'm doing something that will move one of my goals forward, right? In 25-minute increments, because 5 times 5, and with a 5-minute break in between minimum. So more than likely, I'll do 2 of those. So 25, take a 5-minute break, 25, take a 5-minute break, and then, I guess either move on to the next thing or go back to work doing other shit. But at the very least, in between that 25 minutes, I take a break before I do another thing of work on anything else. So, hey, Boston Brian. Hi. Hal, you should seriously write a book on positivity. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, it's again, I do believe optimism is our natural state. So, that's it. So I worked out the system yesterday, and it'll be 5 things a day, 25 minutes a day on each of these things, and with at least a 5-minute break in between. And there are all these different categories of stuff. Everybody's saying Boston Brian nice, and I feel like I missed something that he did. What'd you do, Boston Brian? Are you just being cool? What is this? Where is this thing? What did I miss? Because I just saw the nice part going through the chat and everybody patting him on the back because it might just be that he's lovely, because he is. What day is leg day? Actually, today was leg day. Thanks for asking. I went to the gym, and they have, at the new gym I joined, because I belong to like 2 gyms, because I have the gym I can use when I'm traveling and the gym that's got better shit in town. Right? So the one I went, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Boston Brian, you lovely man. So they have one of these like football style exercise machines where you do squats by lifting up on your shoulders. And I don't like the other squat machines and stuff. So I was looking for a gym literally that had this thing because it's my favorite thing. So today I did those things. So if I fall over later, that's why. Anyways, so today, Wednesday's leg day. And I've often said, there's a movie I want to make as part of the goals for this year, the world's shortest zombie film, and it's called Leg Day of the Dead. And it's all about a guy who is all psyched to do leg day, and he gets himself to the gym, and he does it, and he's completely exhausted, and then a zombie apocalypse happens, and he can't outrun them, and he dies because his legs won't move. And it's a 3-minute it's a 3-minute zombie film, Leg Day of the Dead, the world's shortest zombie film. I'm very proud of it. Yeah. And oh, thanks. I did arms. I'm still getting my left arm. See that? Up to my right arm again. Look at the difference. Yeah. So this is the one that I wrecked, but I'm now able to start exercising it again. So it's good, but it's definitely distinctly different. But I'm working on it. And what else? Oh yeah. So 5 things a day, 5 days a week. And then on the weekends, simply creative. I mean, I do a radio show on Saturdays. That's going to be work, but I'll do the work prepping for that and the extra stuff during the work week so that I can have some time to myself. And then like Friday, the other thing too is I named each day. So like, Monday. So I got to take care of like bills and all that kind of stuff to stay focused on that. And what I call Tutor Tuesday, which is learning, and Work at Wednesday, which is all just career goals. And like the Thursday, I just came up with Thrive Thursday because it's really just about like meal planning, setting my exercise goals, all that kind of stuff, making sure I'm on track for that. just general stuff like that. And then Friday is family and friends, so that I am at least doing family and friends stuff on the weekend, and so doing stuff at night with them. But then also just goal wise, yeah. And nothing happened to my arm, Tracy. My shoulder got wrecked last year, and it was really bad. So if you'll recall, last year I was like stiff neck and couldn't move for like 3 months. It's because of an injury to my shoulder. But now it's better, and now I can start exercising it again. And it's still, the weird part is it never lost strength, it just lost size, which is even weirder because my left arm is stronger than my right arm, even though it's smaller. That is, whatever. Anyways, there you go. Oh, thank you, Justin. Do you eat more than once a day now? I do. Although, yeah, I mean, do I though? I was just thinking, like, I eat one meal a day. And yeah, probably not. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I don't really. I think it's just so automatic. I don't think about it anymore. That's what it is. Yeah. You made my shoulder ache just just watching you. Yeah. Sorry, Stargal. I apologize for giving you empathetic pains. You prefer the left hand? I'm ambidextrous. That's the great thing about being a guitar player. You're like me, I only eat at nighttime. Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I have a meal at night. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, Mad, yes, one meal a day. Checking in. The Silk remix yesterday was fire. Thank you. I'm very proud of that. I was like, I have, if you haven't noticed, I'm committing to also more character pieces on the show because I enjoy it so much, and some of it involves, you know, the physical characters, and sometimes I just want to wish somebody happy birthday from Wyoming. Why would you do that? Why would you let that woman on the show? It's terrible. I don't know. I think she's pretty. Say pretty again, motherfucker. Say pretty again. Can we bring the Chet guy back on the show? Can we do that? Is that wrong? Hi, I'm Tim Pool, and everything I'm about to say is bought and paid for by the Ruskamir. Brought to you by Ruskamir. Yeah. Come on, goddammit, you know better than that. Happy birthday, Hal. Shit. I remember we celebrated your birthday down in Baja, and you were like, I gotta go. You're blazing up a big fatty and it's stinking my hair up. And I was like, I don't have that goddamn problem anymore. Fan-fucking-tastic. Then I want to wish you happy birthday from me. I am Joe from Indianapolis, and I am all-American and very American guy. And here's my other friend who is also totally American and not Russian. Hey, yes, I am from Ohio, friends with the Jim Jordan, who is nice American guy. I growing up with him, and we are hanging out a lot. And this is how I became just really loving that America thing, you know. But you know, just you don't have to taking from me. The best is yet to. Don't worry, ladies. I'm here to take care of things. Whoa, look out. All right, let's shoot them up. Come on, baby. Look out. That's just wrong. Sorry. Don't know why I would do something like that. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I feel dirty now, and not in a good way. Just listen. I don't listen. Oh, right. Okay, right. Okay, right. I was a bit of Gorka. Oh, you ever tried a bit of Gorka? You know? Yes, what? Yes, oh, Gorka. Yes, try to do a bit more of that. Yes, Yeah. Golka. So, and then of course, we always have. Hello, I'm about to do a thing. I'm be there on my car doing the show with everybody. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Everybody do the thing. Hey, everybody happy to see the show. It's happy birthday, Hal. It's happy birthday, Hal. Happy birthday. I think it's kind of my new favorite though. Golka. Oh, dude. If I do say so myself. Golka. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hold on one second. We were missing one. I had to. Some of these I have to find again, and they take them away from me. Where is it? Here it is. Jamie, put that thing up on the screen. That video that I totally got wrong. Put up that video of Joe Biden making a joke that I think he's being serious, and then put up right after it. Put up a video. Jamie, put the video up on the big screen of me thinking Biden's joking when he's telling the truth, and Trump's telling the truth when he's joking. And I'll just sit here blazing up a big fatty and pretending that I have a grip on reality. Do that. Jamie, put that up on the screen. Jamie, can we get Elon Musk back on here to make me feel smart? So, there you go. That's well, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rogan. It's kind of Travolta, is it? I don't know. I'm like making a comeback. Way to go, Monero! All right, Bro Rogan. You like Bro Rogan? Yeah. You like the old cupcake filter though? Yeah, the old it disappeared. Sorry. Yeah. And it was stationary, so I couldn't do it to my head, which was annoying. So yeah, I mean, you give and you take. Look, man. Who said they don't like the cupcake filter? The fuck? Hey, man. Hey, man. Say you don't like the cupcake filter again. Say you don't like the cupcake filter again, motherfucker. Huh? Yeah, it's sprinkle shaming is what I call it. Oh, Janine, thank you so much for the happy birthday. Oh, and my watch just wished me happy birthday. It's showing balloons. Good times. Yeah, that's salty cupcake. That's no cupcake interview when he's talking, man. That's some serious stuff. I've been singing in the choir. I've been in a cappella choir, and I can't read notes, but I learned a song real quick. I'd like to hear you sing. Is there a way I can hear? Oh, Teresa, you want to hear me sing a song? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's all over the internet. There's plenty of video, if that's what you mean. Let me think about what I feel like singing this early in the morning without any warm up. Let's see. Thank you. Rally. It's Hal's birthday. I knew it was supposed to be a good day this morning. Yes, it is. Clearly. Did you miss Ficus? You did. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Mrs. Marks. Happy birthday to you. I got dulcet tones, you son of a bitch. What's happening? Let's see. The Barney song. No. I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. 6 long years I've I've been asleep now. Don't wake me up till breakfast is done. There we go. It's the Major's birthday as well. Oh, today? Wait, did the Major and I have the same birthday? He's on vacation in Europe, today for this thing. Yep. Ficus needs a banjo. He totally does. A Ficus album covering "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," please. All right. I mean, hey, I'm not one to turn down a revenue stream at this point. When you have a child, no one has extra money when they have a child. That's for the record. I don't care. I guess Trump does because he doesn't give a shit. I should caveat that. If you care about your children, you don't have any. Thanks, Tom. Tommy just wished me happy birthday in Japanese. You great. And and Marcia, thank you so much. Oh, hold on. I have to. It makes you accept that they open the app for. I will do that after the show. Thank you for the Cash App as well. Very lovely, very sweet. What am I scrolling through at this point? Good Lord, this hour is passing by so fast. When I just chit chat, it just zips by. When I'm not, I think it's when I'm not worried about I guess. Hold on. When I'm not worried about content, I could just talk. It's so freeing. And then when time flies when you're not stressed about what you're supposed to cram into the hour that you have. Let's see. And I've got to open this up. I still got work to do because Phil's going to be here in just a few. And I want to make sure I have the setup ready for him. And there you go. And then we'll have that. And then we go to I know. OBS. There we go. Excellent. Okay, good. All right. Now we're ready for Phil when he shows up. Should be good. Awesome. Okay. There's so much. Thank you, Kale Inc. I enjoy an hour of me as well. It's nice to have just some free time, whatever. And by the way, happy birthday, Mark Hamill. We love you. It was so sweet meeting him. I can't tell you how excited I was. And I got to say, I didn't get anything signed. I didn't get a picture with him because I felt like I didn't want to bug him. Now, this is a curious thing, and I'm sorry for the text while you're on. No, don't worry about it. I appreciate it. Boston Brian, you never have to worry about texting me while I'm on the air. I'm liking my new GPU. It is a lot smoother, I will say. And I worry less about the load. Just saying. Jamie, put that thing up there about my load again, about how I have a big load, but nothing comes out of it. Yeah, like a big empty load. Jamie, put that thing up on the big screen about my big empty load. Okay, there we go. And checking it. Instagram didn't work. Didn't see it on my, okay. Oh, what's happening? No, Instagram, I'm up. I'm up there now. Oh, yeah, so Templeton Zerat's birthday is today as well. Why am I just learning this now? Happy birthday. Bon anniversaire, Templeton Zerat. And it's so great to share this day with you. And my mom. And Mark Hamill. And Christopher Reeve. Rest his soul. And unfortunately, Will Smith. But we'll pretend he's out of the club. I'm sorry. He just isn't. He's not welcome in the club anymore. I'm sorry. Nope. And Barbara Walters also was part of it. And the real Barbara Walters, not my friend's dog, who named and Richard, yes, and the Major Ojeda. So happy birthday to him as well. Rhonda says, I share a birthday with Charlize Theron, Kate Beckinsale, and Halle Berry. All childless cat ladies. I'm kidding. I am. Catherine Zeta-Jones as well today. That's right. Yes. The most beautiful woman with a lazy eye in the world. How are you talking Haitian? Yes, I was. Does that mean talking with your mouth full? Meow. I'm kidding. This is just stupid. Yeah, God bless Christopher Reeve. The work that man did for paralysis during his life is immeasurable and will be celebrated one day, right, as it rightly should. Let's see. And are we there? Okay. So, yeah, is Instagram up? Can people see it on there? I think people can, right? Yeah, I see people joining there. Hey, look at that. Oh, thanks, Max. Wishing me a happy birthday. That's so sweet. Look at that. Aw, come on now. Any special plans for tonight? Yes, going to dinner with Summer. And then Ethan is working, and so is his girlfriend, I think. So we're having a secondary, broader family birthday dinner tomorrow night. We're going to have cake this afternoon. This is how it happens. In these Brady Bunch-like families we're all in, everything gets, like broken up into chunks. Like, okay, well, I have cake right after lunch on Wednesday, but then everybody has to work and we got other shit to do. So we'll have dinner on Thursday night, right? That kind of stuff. So thank you. Yes, it is. You know you have to translate the German, right? And it's not like I'm against learning it. It's just not high on my list these days. Yeah, so I got a nothing bunt cake waiting for me later on. Although I'm an ice cream cake kind of a guy, I have grown to enjoy the nothing bunt cakes, and they are easier to keep in the fridge for longer. Yeah. Thanks. Great from Wyoming. And then I talked to them a few times, but it's 30 years. Well, Philly, welcome to your new family online. Hi. Aaron West, thank you so much. Sprechen Sie douche? Yes, I do. If you'll notice when I watch Glenn Beck clips, I am the douche whisperer. Whisperer. Yeah, good times. Yeah, honestly, I was like, I should jump into some trending stuff or whatever, but I kind of don't feel like it. So we'll just hang out until Phil gets here and talk to you guys, if that's all right with you. Someone must translate the German for me. This is the type of things. And someone has posted this thing. There's a picture of me and her. This is us in DC when I had the short hair. With my jacket that I still have. I'm a big fan of that jacket. It's good. It's one of those jackets you can have for a long time. It lasts a long time. It's good. And then Nerd Halen wished me a happy birthday, which is very sweet as well. Where's that one? Hold on. This guy. There you go. I'm very proud. And I expect nothing less than people to irritate everyone in entertainment that it is my birthday. All the entertainment sites and that stuff should go, today is the 55th birthday of Hal Sparks, Mr. Fancy Pants himself. Like that kind of stuff. Yes, and happy birthday to share Hal Sparks, Mary Hamill, very cool. It is very cool. And what else? Scrolling through there. Calarus, thank you very much. Thank you for all the Zoltans that I'm also seeing in my feed. And thank you, Sky, for the birthday balloons. And by the way, this is a picture I posted of me and my mom earlier on Shitter. Happy birthday to my mom, a serious woman for serious times. The apple does not fall far from the end of the nose. There you go. Good times. And where are we? Chat, there you go. Back to you guys. Thank you, Susie, for the happy birthday. And thank you, Palm Reader, for that as well. Are you a real palm reader? How red are my palms? Thank you, Retro Music Talk Show. Thanks. There's so many lovely. Happy birthday, Mom. Oh, that's lovely. Whole thing last night. You guys were great. Energy behind Harris Walls is still growing strong. I agree. Bored Monkeys has the Ramones singing happy birthday to me, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you very much. And these are my favorite, I think. These kind of borderline geriatric gifs. It's just the first one that came up in your feed. I could tell how old you are by, like, when you type in happy birthday into the gift finder, how kind of grandma-ish these are, or not. Movie stands unite. Hal, happy birthday, Hal's mom. Yes, lovely, thank you. That's from Stranger Things. That's what it is. Thank you, Steve. There we go. Another shot of my mom. Big happy birthday. Look at that. It's nice. This got. I mean, can I just say, if I may, that nice AI cake. It's good times. Hey, there it is. Really, Carter, the Geeks for Harris thing. And John Cryer, who was lovely, and Mark Hamill, who was lovely, and aging well you are. Thank you I agree. Do you know the theory about Yoda, that he's actually human? That's what, humans get smaller and our ears keep growing as we get older, and that we sort of revert back to this kind of shape. He's 900 years old, and over time, like, your fingers fall off, and then you're just left with these, and then they sort of calcify and continue to grow. When you're 900 years old, this is what you'll look like. I mean, I'm totally cool with that. That if humans live to be 900, we look like this. Totally great. But that was in the original Star Wars, like, behind Star Wars, the ear hair is very accurate, yes. I had this, like, Star Wars magazine when I was a kid that was like, when I was 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. I think it was around Empire, so whenever that, 10 years old. And it was like so early that they spelled R2D2 ARTOODETOO, right? And in it had this whole thing about how Yoda's actually a human being. And he's, when 900 years old, you look this good, you will not, right? The reason he says that is because he's a 900-year-old human. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. Aw. Excellent. And thank you for that. Look at that. See? But what I was going to say is, yay! What I was going to say, what? Hold on. I've been doing stand-up since I was 15 years old. Who's this? Happy birthday, Hal Sparks. A little bit older and more fabulous. This is true. And somebody at SAG-AFTRA'd me. It's great. Thanks, Matthew. And that's Trump handing out his crypto burgers. I don't know why that would show up, but sure, whatever. That said, there we go. That's a good one. This is a rock solid one. This I'm enjoying. There you go. And Gail Harold fan, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great picture of Mark, by the way. I love that picture of him. He looks like a founding father. I was always disappointed that he wasn't in The Revenant with his beard and all that kind of stuff. I just think he would have looked extra primo cool. Right? Hold on, let me bring this in. Yeah, he looks like Orson Welles. That's a good point. Except that's what Orson Welles looked like when he was 25. Do you ever see pictures of, like, Orson Welles when he did the Mercury Theater? The dude looks 60. I mean, part of it is the time, right? Part of it is just, again, like, hard living and lack of calories, and then the calories you did have were, like, pure pork fat, right? So everybody looked rosy-cheeked and stuff, but they aged like grocery sushi, right? Orson Welles did indeed get large. That would be the alcohol. Birthday card in staff chat from the start. Oh, okay. Oh, I see the yes. Thank you. Yay. Is it clicking? Oh, yes. Aw. And then, happy birthday to your mom. Thank you so much. And, it's your end? Okay, good. All right. And Instagram is working just fine, insofar as I know. It's good stuff. And Rosebud, no spoilers. Spoiler alert. Do you know you're on the list of birthdays on Wikipedia? Well, I damn well should be. It's interesting. My mom called like about a week and a half ago, and she was like, you made the New York Times crossword puzzle, and it was Funny Sparks. And it was a 3-letter thing. I mean, obviously not too difficult. And I'm always torn about those things. It's like being a Jeopardy question, right? Because on the one hand, that's really cool. On the other hand, you don't want it to be too difficult. You know what I mean? If you're obscure enough, you're definitely edging on fame if you qualify as a crossword puzzle clue, right? But you're not so famous, you're like, that's Hal Sparks, of course. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe they're giving him a layup. Maybe that's, I feel I'm going to interpret it as such, right? I'm going to interpret it that way. I'm going to assume that that they meant it in a, let's give them an easy one. Funny Sparks, it's got to be Hal. Come on. Edging. Okay, simmer down. What day was the crossword puzzle? I don't recall off the top of my head. My mom cut it out. I will ask her. They make any money? Yeah, they made $500,000, I think. Not bad at all. Sean Connery. I will take AI bum covers for $200, Alex. How many letters of celebrity are there? A, B, C, D, F, G. Oh, I see. Yeah. There's Z-list, which means you're not, I don't even know if you qualify as a celebrity anymore. I think D-list is the lowest you can be before you're no longer technically a celebrity. E-list means I think you're on E, which is the bottom, on so many fronts. Remember, E is a network. You can't spell evil without them. That's right. And you could say, by the way, everybody's been asking what I want for my birthday. And I appreciate, by the way, love you guys for the super chats and for the new Patreon and memberships and all that kind of stuff. That is fantastic. And I thank you for it. It's just it's a wonderful thing. And I want to have Greg Proops on as a guest, by the way. Somebody was just saying in there, I'm going to do that. But he's so good. And such a lovely human being, by the way. But here's what I would want from you as a gift. You were thinking about like, hey, I want to do something for Hal for his birthday. Here's what you can do. If you're an American citizen and you're legally of age to vote and you're not a convicted felon on parole, which, is, again, I'm narrowing down the audience, my audience that this applies to, but still, what you can do is vote. Vote on the first day that early voting is available in your area. That's all I ask. If you can do that for me, that's it. Just stack your vote. Get that brick in there early. Yes, that would be a great gift. And then let me know when you do. So at some point during one of the live streams, if it's next Wednesday or if it's next Monday or if it's 2 weeks from now or something like that, just go did it, voted. Just so and just say happy birthday, I voted, and I'll know that you did it on the first day that was available in your area. That would be great. Yeah. Felons on parole can vote in Illinois. Well, there you go. All right. So Blagojevich, I guess, can. No, he's still all right. Yes, and vote blue up and down the ballot. Yes. No spoiler votes. No silliness. No Jill Stein and RFK Jr. Because again. If a war breaks out, neutrality automatically puts you on the side of the aggressor or the stronger of the two parties. If somebody attacks somebody and you can do something and you don't, that means you're automatically on the side of the aggressor, right? And the same thing is true if you vote third party. If you vote third party, it is just the coward's way of voting for the greater of two evils. If that makes sense. Hal's segment yesterday was great, but too short. Wonder Woman is my dream. I agree. I think it could have been a lot longer. As a matter of fact, I feel like I have to do an entire episode of that stuff. I'm worried we're going to lose the Senate. We're not going to lose the Senate. Yeah, Republicans aren't going to show up this year. Lots of them. And a lot of women are going to, even women independents and women Republicans are going to vote for the Democrat or leave President blank, which will not help Trump. Just telling you. That's how it's going to work out. Voted Monday in Virginia. Oh, yay. Thank you, Wendy. If we lose the Senate, how will things get passed? Well, gaining or losing the Senate isn't even so much the issue, because a lot of stuff will get passed based on necessity. The Senate is the deliberative body, and most stuff gets through there. They can filibuster stuff in committees, but they're not going to be filibustering the budget or any kind of normalcy at all. There's Phil. Let me bring him in just 1 second. And but hiya. So let me see this in, and I've got to jump in and put this. And then you're not the major, you're Phil. So I will change that. Oops. There we go. No. He's on vacation. Yeah, there it is. Turn that one off. And then I'll turn this one off, and I'll put this in here, and clicking this over, and Phil will be with us in just 1 second. 3, 2, 1, pa-ping. Do we pop it in there? We hope so. There he goes. Excellent. How are you, sir? Welcome. Good to see you.
Good. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Am I out of focus? I am out of focus.
Nope, you're all right. I got it. It just takes. It was taking a minute for it to, to get its particles in order, as you do.
Sure.
Hi.
Well, one of the most devastating things is this war lags on and on and on. Is that I'm running out of things to get you for your birthday. You already have a Ivanka.
And you got me the Kiss nesting doll.
And the Kiss nesting doll.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to settle.
Oh, that's cool.
For
that's not settling. That's badass.
A kind of I'm a punk. And you're a rocker.
Yes.
So I figured some leather wristbands.
Yep.
This one's got
absolutely
the Trevog,
the trident on it. Yeah, that's great.
Ukrainian trident.
Beautiful.
And then this is a Vyshyvanka style.
Yeah.
In the colors of the Ukrainian flag.
Beautiful. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for that. Birthday. That's lovely. Thank you, sir. Awesome.
I'll bring them with me when I come to
Sexy Liberal.
Sexy Liberal in LA. Yeah.
I'm for it. That's a great idea. Yes, as you do. Lots. And by the way, chat room saying hi. Let me. Pardon me for getting this over here and screwing up the titles in here because I wasn't able to click these out. There we go. And there we go for this. And there's the chat room. And there's a lot of things obviously we can cover, but one of them is the biggest, one of the single biggest hits to, here, I'll show it. Russia's economy suffers another major blow. Income from crude oil shipments in Russia has dropped to its lowest level in 8 months, potentially complicating spending plans for the war payments or whatever. Putin's former deputy energy minister told Newsweek this drop in Russian oil shipments is an interesting trend. That was my favorite quote from it. It's an interesting trend. It certainly is. Although it's too early to tell whether it will persist. Spoiler alert. It will persist. I'm just letting you know. It's gonna persist. It will persist. It will.
The lounge chairs.
Yeah, the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deck chairs on the Titanic. It really is. I'm getting my audio
feedback?
back.
Okay, sorry. 1 second. Oh, I know why that is.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me do this. I'm going to mute this 1 second, and then turn that on, and then it should. Is that better? Oh, hold on. I don't see you in there real quick. Just making sure of something. Give me 1 second. It's always something. Can you check for me? Yep, there it is. Okay. Okay, and you can, let's see. Right, but I for some reason, normally I would see this in here. I don't, let's see, all right. I need to check something on my end, It's good. It's always good. Advanced audio properties. The stream thing comes in. Monitor off. Blah, 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 the source of it. Blah blah blah. Close. Hold on. Properties. Yep. Voice out B2. That should be it. Let's see. I'll try voice out B3 just to see if that solves our issue for us, because you shouldn't be bouncing back. Oh wait. Oh, B1. That's why. That's why. We'll try this here. Check. Can you hear me? All right. Let me check you.
Yep, I can hear you just fine. If you can hear me.
There you go. Yes. Excellent.
Okay. All sorted. So who else are you having on today for your birthday?
Well, no one's just you, my dear friend. I had a little bit of a mini ask me anything before the show started. And let me make sure that this, when we go over to the guest news, it pops over here as well. Yeah, see, I don't want the guest to pop in. There you go. Now it works. Now you should be fine. So there's no double back.
There we go.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yep,
now we won't be irritated by that. So, yeah. Yeah, so it's just you and I for this hour, and I appreciate you being with me today, especially.
I hope you'll do something nice for your day with your
Summer and I are going to dinner tonight. Yep. Summer and I are going to dinner tonight, and then we're going to have cake with her kid and Summer and I this afternoon, and with her kid and his girlfriend and Summer and I tomorrow night, where we will also have a second dinner where everybody can be there, because that's what everybody's work schedule is like at this point.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the big news right now is HIMARS are, I guess, they're using cluster munitions, or here, I'll see if I can show this. Hold on. Turn off the music. Good Lord. See if I can show you this right now. This is the current state of the cluster munitions. That's a HIMAR followed by, I guess, either they're chasing with it or they're just dropping stuff from nearby. But you see, yeah, there's the cluster.
Yeah.
Following it up. And right after the first truck is hit, see that guy running? Like, there's a dude who just, after the truck is hit, he just books it the fuck out of there and runs to the next truck, which gets hit. I got to tell you, if they're hitting the trucks, don't run to the next truck, dum-dum.
Don't get in the trucks. Unless they're armored. And those aren't armored. Those are just big guys.
No, those are tent-covered. Those are tent-covered.
From what I can see.
Armor transport.
I haven't seen that video before.
Or personnel transport,
They're just trucks, which is how they move around generally anyhow.
Right.
They don't mount up into armor unless they're. I say that they generally don't mount up into armor unless they're going close to the battle lines. They don't go long distances in their BMPs, mainly because the BMPs suck. They're terrible vehicles. Awful vehicles.
Now, in raising the possibility of irritating you early in the show, I'm going to play this clip of Trump talking up Russia. And I think you might have heard it, but other people may not have. This is, here it is.
Biden and Kamala got us into this war in Ukraine, and now they can't get us out. They can't get us out. I watched him. We will win. We will. He's been saying that for 3 years. Every time Zelensky comes to the United States, he walks away with $100 billion. I think he's the greatest salesman on earth. But we're stuck.
I mean, how fucked up is it that these assholes are booing Zelensky? Because they don't boo when he says Putin's name. Listen to this.
That war, unless I'm president, I'll get it done. I'll get it negotiated. I'll get out. We got to get out. Biden says, we will not leave until we win. What happens if they win? That's what they do, is they fight wars. As somebody told me the other day, they beat Hitler, they beat Napoleon. That's what they do, they fight. And it's not pleasant, but, we've given them close to $300 billion. And, Biden and Kamala.
So that's his statement is,
so much.
So much
So
to dig
much
into.
wrong with that.
No, they didn't beat
So much
Hitler.
wrong with
We
that.
did, motherfucker. And
Well,
they did, and they would have
yeah.
had their ass kicked way earlier in that process if they hadn't gotten a lend lease from us early as well. So I mean, it's just absurd. And Napoleon, fucking hell.
Well, the problem is Well, so many problems. First off, it's not 300 billion. That should also be mentioned. But his argument. I mean, the man is so ignorant, and he shows it regularly. And so does J.D. Vance. Both of them are purposefully ignorant. Both of those conflicts, the big military victories that Moscow has achieved in the last 200 plus years, because Napoleonic Wars, they won first and foremost. In both those conflicts, they were part of a grand coalition of allies. So when you fought Napoleon, you were fighting with the Brits and you were fighting with the Brits, the Poles, the Germans, back then the Prussians. There was a grand ensemble. There was a big group of people fighting Napoleon. They didn't win that on their own. Secondly, in both cases, they were part of an empire which included 40 million people in this country, a few other million here, there, and the other place from their empire, which no longer exists anymore. In actuality, if you study Russian military history, they suck. They're really, really bad at conducting war. For a lot of different reasons, a whole bunch of reasons. One, they're too big. It's too big of a country, too unmanageable. You have to maneuver around in trains. It's a corrupt society which always undermines its own military. This corruption that exists now in Putin's Russia is nothing new. Corruption has been part of. I mean, there's the old 19th century. Turns out it's probably apocryphal, but there was a 19th century Russian diplomat / poet, and he wrote a treatise about, like, if I were to fall asleep in Russia and wake up 100 years from now, I'll tell you what would be happening: corruption and drinking.
Right.
It's always been this way.
But Phil, according to Newsweek and the Russian demographers that they have been speaking to, the Russian life expectancy is set to gain a half a year between now and 2045, and
taking it all the way up to 54.
Yeah, right. This
I'm
is
being facetious.
Right. This is the article from Newsweek, where part of that is Russia cracks down on people who refuse to have babies. This is you wonder why the right wing maggots actually support Putin, is because they find this to be, they want this plan here. I mean, if you look at Tucker Carlson and the rest of these, like, forced birth is the thing. Like, let's be abundantly clear. Their attitude about abortion, beyond being misogynistic in nature, is about, about body count at this point. Just, crank out some cannon fodder for us. And
the thing that drives me nuts about it is that because also in conjunction with this is this campaign that's happening on both in America and in Britain, apparently, of, like, come to Russia and live a more wholesome life where you don't have to deal with these pesky LGBTQ people, and there's this liberal democracy concept of how messy and how difficult. Let's just have an autocracy. It's right. What it doesn't take into account is that actually the nuances of Russian society and the gender roles, which are far more traditional than ours, and far less accepting of things that are outside the quote unquote norm, is that it's not that they have gender equality, but they do have very specific gender roles, and that is a double-edged sword. If you are a big bad man who's going to rule the roost, man, you do not go in the kitchen. Okay, you're a man that likes to cook, forget about it.
Right.
You will be ostracized. You will be, it will be a social thing. I don't want to make a big grand thing, and they're not going to chuck you in prison for this. But the gender roles are not
fluid.
There's a whole there's a whole field of expertise in this. There are people who know far more about this. I just live there, and I read these things. It is not that there is gender equality. It is that the gender roles are specifically etched out in who does what.
Well, they're designed for social control and social stability at all costs.
Yes. Yeah.
And again,
when I was living there,
yeah.
When I was living there, I remember they used to have a tradition where it was you were not allowed in the maternity ward. If you were having a child, you were not allowed in the maternity ward. So as you walked past all of these hospitals that had maternity wards or pediatric care or whatever it is, you would see all these men standing out on the street looking up at the windows because the first sight they had of their child was the doctor or the nurse holding it up in the window and going, "Look, you have a baby."
Wow.
Because you as a man are not allowed in the maternity ward. That's female stuff. That's women's stuff. If you're a doctor, that's different. But if you're the father, you don't go in the maternity. You don't witness the birth. That's women's work. That's women's world. That's the sphere of a
Sounds
woman's
like Trump
existence.
talking. Also, I find it powerfully ironic. I find it powerfully ironic that apparently most Russian babies come into the world via a third floor window, and that's also how they leave. As later in life, and most Russians leave via a third floor window as well. This the way they're going after this is proposed legislation in Russia to prosecute those deemed to be promoting a child-free lifestyle has sparked an angry response online. Well, that's going to come from it. It's mostly opposition leaders who are doing it or whatever. But the reason is because they're having a demographic crisis. Same as China, by the way. Only China's is worse. I want to see, do they have the numbers in this one? Because it's somewhere in the order of, there's a child-free movement. They're talking about...
or for the Russians?
The Russians. It's down, like, they're going to be down 700K this year. Like, that's a huge number of, of births, versus deaths, like an imbalance of births versus deaths. Their population will drop by 700,000 in a year.
Oh, no, they're screwed.
Yeah, they're fucked.
They're screwed. I have friends here in Ukraine who are convinced that part of the reason why it included in the many reasons why they decided to launch this war was to steal kids.
Right.
I mean, I got Ukrainian friends who were like, that was part of their thinking was human resources. Let's increase our population by conquest. And then you also see, just what was it, yesterday or today, there was a bill passed in the lower house of the parliament, the Duma, which prohibited adoption of orphans in countries by citizens of countries that have LGBTQ and transgender rights. Not that the person who would be adopting would be a member of that community, but rather just simply that if they were lax on this kind of morality, we will not let you adopt our children from our orphanages, which is so deeply cynical, because I've been to an orphanage or two in my time, not in a while, because I haven't been to Russia in a while, but I can't believe, again, one of these things that probably has not changed ever and isn't going to change anytime soon. When you become a ward of the state, when you are taken care of by the state, you are all but neglected. And these orphanages are just the one, I've heard good private orphanages exist now, but the ones that are state run, these children are malnourished. They're not fed well. They're not cared for. So if you can get a loving family to adopt them from a country that has that has a view towards these corrupt ideas, as they would put them, then how miserable are you as a human being to restrict that child because you're trying to make some sort of political point? It's
right.
beyond me.
Yeah, the Polish was it the Polish Prime Minister or the UN representative for Poland, Foreign Minister, gave a speech this morning and said, Sikorsky,
FM.
but made the point, like, how is it different what the Russians are doing by stealing Ukrainian children? How is that different from what the Nazis did to Russians? And it isn't. For exactly the same fucking reason.
And from a diplomat.
We need more white children.
That's
what they started scooping them up wherever they came across. They could just, anytime they came across a blonde Polish kid or a blonde German or Russian kid, they would just scoop them up and place them with a family. And guess what? You're a Nazi now. You're German now. There's still people, by the way,
to have that come from the foreign minister of a major European state, well, any major state, that is a non-diplomatic thing to say, and diplomats usually don't say that. I mean, albeit, Poland has beef, so
right.
Sikorsky's statements had some reverberations here in Ukraine. Obviously, what Trump said absolutely infuriated people here, and I mean, like the pure ignorance of it. That's what they do. They fight wars. It's like, well, yeah, they also lose them.
Right.
A lot.
What, dude? What?
They suck.
Again, like Trump is still making this case that he saw what happened. Putin saw what happened in Afghanistan and said, "This is my time to move." I'm like, well, asshole, he couldn't have been more fucking wrong, right? Because this has turned out really badly. He's lost like 100 times. More than 100 times the number of people that he's lost in Afghanistan over the course of a decade.
And he's initiated
in 3 years.
the war that will end and he has initiated the war that is going to once and for all collapse the Russian Empire. This is the end of the Russian Empire.
Yeah.
Even I make the analogy oftentimes with the death of the British Empire. And their most important, their kind of sense of colony came in no small part from their conquest of Ireland. And when they lost Ireland at the beginning of the 20th century, after the First World War and the chaos that followed, and there was the Irish War of Independence, then the Irish Civil War. At the end of the day, Britain kept Ulster, Northern Ireland, right? And it's taken, it took another, half a century, 75 years to get that worked out. Well, Russia may hold on to Donbass, but they've lost their empire forever. And it's just a matter of time before, however this war concludes, and we need to talk about that too, because that was the topic at the UNGA as well. But however this war ends, even if they do hold on to Donbass, which I do not believe they will do, but it's possible, if the international community forces them to, Russia will have fought this disastrous war for a sliver of land that doesn't even matter anymore, because Crimea is no longer a viable naval station, because you can hit it. You can hit it from Odessa. Yeah. And Odessa is going to remain Ukrainian. This is the worst. This is look, I said this to somebody recently. They when the Russian Empire, the last Tsar, lost the Russo-Japanese War and then had a disastrous turn on the Eastern Front in the First World War, they didn't just kill him; they killed his entire family. Slightly making a little, dark joke about that, but they do not. If you lose a war of that, and that was a Russo-Japanese war, which was all the way over in the Pacific, which was an embarrassment to the empire, but it was a holding. They were trying to take land and expand all the way out and hold on to expansion that they did illegally all the way out in the far east in the Russian Empire, and then They didn't lose. They lost East Galicia at the end of
Right.
of the First World War when they sued for peace. That's nothing compared to losing Kiev, Odessa, again Galicia. You're going to lose. This is the worst defeat in Russia's history. I'm trying to think of an equivalency, and I'm not really sure where there is one. This is awful for Russia. I mean, this is the death of their empire, and their most important colony, Ukraine, is never going to bend the knee again. It's never going to happen. So he is living on borrowed time. It's only a matter of time. So
and I'm sure
all these guys who are like, Russia is inevitable. It's a great big power. Well, it's not anymore because it's fallen from empire to Soviet Union to, a federation.
Right.
And secondly, they've already lost in some ways, and they don't have a coalition. It's just, God, Trump's ignorance of the world. And I mean, for him to be campaigning to get back into the Oval with that stupidity, with that lack of understanding of history.
I love how he doesn't even hide it. He just kind of walks into it like, somebody told me the other day. Oh, really? Who? Yeah. Stephen Miller, you fucking moron? It's ridiculous. This is probably my favorite story of the week, and I'm sure you enjoyed it as well when it happened. Russians' new Sarmat ballistic missile blows up during test launch. This is the entire test site. It used to be kind of green and normal here. Now there's a giant hole where the launch site was. It never got out of the ground. Now it's where they launched their nuclear missiles from, but it was not tipped with a nuclear warhead. When it blew up, it was just the fuel that was in the container itself to test fire the missile. That said, I have said for a long time, and you know this, and I if there's any situation where I go out on a limb when I'm talking about this shit, it's entirely to do with this idea, is that after the fall of the Soviet Union, I think our intelligence community rolled in there and was like, okay, if they reconstitute this shit and go nuts, we're not going to let it happen. So we're going to roll in there with a bunch of fucking malware and comm circuits and just sneak into all these open places with very bad security right now and attach shit to this stuff so that if they ever try to launch this shit, it's not going to work. And if anything, we can retarget it towards Moscow. And so if Putin ever decides the missiles are away, hallelujah, they all just go, and up until this point, it's just been comic conjecture on my part. Increasingly, from and this isn't the first test to go south, this kind of shit eating, like, that they're doing, I think points to exactly that. That a level of sabotage, whether it was done back then, or whether it was done in the last 2 years, or whether it's just done by incompetence, or them selling off their own shit, like, there is no guarantee any of this stuff is going to actually work if you launch it, right? They don't maintain their shit, and they're going to maintain the stuff on the back of the shelf way less than they're going to maintain the stuff on the front of the shelf. Obviously, guns and ammo and maybe the Jeeps you use for shit, you're going to work on that shit all the time. You're going to keep them well-tuned. But anything you don't think you're going to use for a few years or a decade, you're just going to let it rot or sell off the parts, which is exactly what fucking happened. Well, imagine what nukes are like in that situation. Because everybody's convinced, especially post-92, you're never going to launch one, right? The only reason they talk about tactical nuclear missiles, I think, is because none of their ballistic, like, actual, multi-megaton bombs work.
Yeah, and they crow about this stuff because that's all they've got left.
What does Sarmat mean? Do we know?
I don't know what Sarmat translates to.
Isn't it like the devil's finger or something like that? But the idea is that it's the devil's missile. That's the weird part about it, is then all their Christian, bullshit that they sell over here.
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that all the time. Is name their weapons, especially their, like, long range, especially they like their artillery or their missile systems.
Mm-hmm.
They love doing it with a biblical name. But they've been threatening to be more expressive in their saber rattling, hoping that it will intimidate us, because I think they do recognize that we're going to get to a point very soon where we are
That
going
you-
to start allowing.
Yeah,
long
Sarmat
range.
is Satan. It's their Satan missile.
Well,
right.
that would be Shaitan. Oh no, maybe that's. Am I thinking of? Am I thinking of Persian or
Right.
Farsi? I thought in
Shaitan.
Russian Satan is Shaitan.
Yeah, I think it's another
short.
Uh-huh.
It might be because if you say "shot возьмите," is the devil take you, and "shot" is the devil.
Right.
It must be a variation. It must be a variation.
Yeah.
It's a very
because they bragged about
language.
it on 60 Minutes on the Channel 1 show that they have over there at one point about the
they're trying to scare us. They're trying to scare us. And so to have it be as disastrous as this is pretty funny. But I think they know that long range weapon strikes are coming.
Yeah,
I think that's
there are
soon.
They're already happening.
They might be happening covertly.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. There have been a couple of things that have gone boom where it's like, maybe.
Right. It's harder to tell too because they're pretty good at hitting the ammo dumps. There's a ton of these places that have been hit, where Russia stores its ammunition, and the explosion is so big. The assumption is, oh my God, a missile must have hit that. When in reality, a small explosive, well targeted, could set fire and explode all the ordnance that's there, making this giant explosion. So it wouldn't take much. A hand grenade in that situation would set off an explosion that would ripple and look like a mushroom cloud because of all the shit that's stored there. It's like hitting a fireworks factory and Naked Gun.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. My feeling is, we should have been letting them do it a long time ago, but I'm biased.
Right.
I think they are going to do it if they're not already doing it covertly. The Russians will react with more of this kind of saber rattling stuff. If we haven't done it by the election, then because again, I keep saying one of the reasons why we are so reluctant to be more aggressive in our support for Ukraine. Again, by the way, let me just say this. I know I'm sidetracking myself, but we're not in the war, numbnuts. We're not in the war.
Right.
Biden and Harris did not get us in the war. They're supporting a country that is fighting a defensive position, protecting as a shield all of Western civilization. I mean, screw you. I mean, they got us No, there are no American boots on the ground.
Right.
Except for guys that volunteered who are not representatives of the United States or Marines at the embassy. That is it. Okay. I mean, there might be secret squirrel guys walking around. There might be guys who are in service, but they're kind of attaches or they're trainers or but any significant number of American troops on the ground in Ukraine doesn't exist because the Ukrainians, all they're asking for is the means to defend themselves. So for him to sit there and say that Biden and Harris got us into this war and now we can't get out. They don't know how to get out.
Right.
Asshole, we're not in the war strictly for that reason. The reason we're not sending, we are sending troops to Poland and the Baltics and stuff, but the reason why we're not, exchanging fire with the Russians is because the Ukrainians are holding them back. It's
right.
He's such an idiot. Anyhow, sorry, I got off topic there.
No, it's understandable. So the point being is that a bunch of these ammo sites that have been hit lately, there were 58 buildings of ammo storage with railway and train parts and other stuff for the transportation of it. So the trains roll in, they load them up, and they roll out. And this one particular, the big explosion everybody saw, I think, of the ammo depot being hit. Well, one of the biggest things about it was the area that was hit had train tracks going through it so they could load the stuff up and send it into Ukraine. And those tracks went up with the rest of it.
Because there was a train
full of shit. Yes. Yeah. Let's see if I can show you the.
See,
Yeah.
yet another reason why the Russians are crap at war is because their logistics and their chain of command, and it's there it is. Yeah.
Jesus.
Before and after. Look at how much damage. That's just
like every
incredible.
building intact, every building wiped out.
That's
like
all missiles that were going to be sent over here to kill Ukrainians. So
and artillery ammo and bullets and all kinds of stuff. But a lot of
I have seen NATO on the march.
Yeah,
I've seen America, particularly American, but I've seen NATO on the march. And one of the things we do doesn't have anything to do with pointing a rifle or shooting a missile or whatever it is. It's getting stuff from point A to point B so that you can support the guys who are pulling the triggers on the front line.
Right.
That's where we excel. I mean, it's not we excel in a number of different military ways, but our logistical chain of command and moving stuff around is extraordinary. We put stuff on, but the Russians don't even pallet stuff. They don't put stuff on pallets. They box them. They load them up onto trains.
Loose.
They move them to another location, loose. Then they get other human beings because they have tons of human beings. Why bother palletizing stuff? Why bother paying for forklifts or for, enormous trucks that can move stuff around when you can just have human beings picking up boxes and moving them? And they just put them in these, it's just insane. They put them in these ammo depots. So they're shit at war. Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. They're crap at war.
And again, I think the dead giveaway is him saying, somebody told me the other day. Like, dude, you were president of the United States. There is no secondary information available to you but in loose conversation that should tell you more about Russia's fighting capability and what arms they have available to them, or historically what our issues with them, than being president of the United States. You'll have more access to information in that situation, right? So what the fuck? Why in the world would somebody elbowing you at the omelet bar at Mar-a-Lago and going, those Russians, man, they sure can't fight. Well, not fucking lately. The weird part is I'm like, it kind of goes to this, like, I don't know, the 1949 Mets winning the World Series or something like that. And you're like, the 1949 Mets, that's all they did was win. Yeah, but you can't play them now. I mean, it's no slam on them. It's not the same fucking people, stupid, right? There's a difference. You do realize that none of the people running shit right now and none of the people alive right now were any of the people that fought or organized either of those two situations. So all that speaks to is this asshole's genetic racism. This idea that he thinks he's smart because his uncle was at MIT is the same bullshit racism of the Russians have the fighting spirit in their blood. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And a pure lack of understanding of what Russia is. And was in the past. I mean, Anne Applebaum put out a wonderful tweet about this, where she's like, yeah, except they also lost the Crimean War, they lost the Russo-Japanese War, they lost this war, they lost that war, they lost they lost that. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention, was the fact that, like, so Nicholas II gets his whole family killed in the Bolshevik Revolution because he screws up 2 wars.
Yeah.
The Afghan war comes along at the tail end of the Soviet Union, and I don't put the loss of the Afghan war on too much of a weight as some other people do, but it was a contributing factor. It was 100% a contributing factor to the collapse of the Soviet Union, and that was Afghanistan. Again, far away, not something that most Russians had any kind of concept of its importance or what it is. They know the importance of Ukraine, and they're losing it. And they've already lost it. They just haven't realized it. What was discussed at the UNGA, which I think we really should lay into. We got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
Zelensky's speech about you have to beat the Russians. They have to be defeated.
Yeah.
Is part of this idea, because if they think that they can win, or that they have won something out of this war, they'll try. I think Putin won't be able to do it, but they will certainly try and spin it into like, well, we got this, that, or the other thing. Putin is done no matter what.
And it will justify future invasions.
Yeah, and I think what he was also mentioning, I think what he was getting at was also the fact that like there's gonna come a time, and it's not too far off, as he said, like the conclusion of the war may be sooner than you think. Because I think he knows. I think he knows. I think he knows, and I think Ukrainian intelligence knows that something's coming for Putin. I don't know when. I'm not saying immediate. I'm saying that there is, Zelensky said it closer to the end than we are to the beginning of this war. I think it's because they are looking at the very real possibility of a just absolute collapse in the Kremlin, which I know lots of people are like, oh, that's wishful thinking. I don't think it is. I think he really, it's going to get to a point, and I don't think it's that far off, where Russians are going to be like, what are we doing this for? I mean, hell, we had Solovyev say that, straight up said that, 3 days ago on television? You don't say stuff like that on national television in Russia and stay alive without, there being some sort of backer, somebody who is protecting you, or even, maybe something happening in the Kremlin. But he is in serious. This is absolutely catastrophic for him. So, if we can keep the line here, and and again, I hate going back to Trump's statements, but this whole thing about like he keeps coming and he says, "Oh, just a little bit more and we'll win." Well, yeah, actually, I do think that there is
a lot more. They'd win sooner. Like part of the issue is drips and drabs.
Right. Because you and your GOP kept, weapons coming to this country for 7 months. Yeah. 7 months. We didn't get.
Yeah, it was the goal though. I mean, you could look at literally back when Trump was denying them, the like anti-tank weapons, for example, in exchange for them going after Biden or announcing, you don't even have to investigate him, just announce the investigation. I'll do the rest was basically the argument. And Rudy will come over and tell you the details, and the details that Rudy had written down, which they have, and which was in the impeachment was, you guys announced this thing on this certain date, and you have to do it, and your deputy prime minister has to be standing right next to you during it, and whoever your main DA guy is that would cover this, and you guys announce this. You don't have to follow through. Just sometime before the election, before this date, you guys have to announce this thing. And so that was the deal. And if you do that, we'll send the what was it? It wasn't HIMARS. It was
allocated the javelins.
Javelins, right?
Which was allocated by Congress,
right?
So it wasn't all these guys who defend Trump, and they're like, well, Trump was even harder on Russia than Biden has been because he sent all those javelins. One, he didn't want to send the javelins. He
delayed it as long as he could, and Congress made him do it. Congress signed off on those things. He did not. He didn't. All he could, and he slowed it down as much as he could. But at no point was he like double that. As a matter of fact, when we were kicking spies out of our country, like when after the like they'd been caught spying on Americans and on Europeans, the Europeans kicked out a bunch of people, and we were going to match what they kicked out, which is that France had 2, they kicked out 2, German kicked out 2, UK kicked out 2, and we're going to kick out 6. That was the idea, because we have as many as they have put together. And Trump just wanted to kick out 2, like each individual country did, and he got fucking furious that we kicked out everybody, effectively. Right. All these spies who were stealing information, and spying on Americans. He was mad. He was brutally angry, right? That this happened. So the idea that he was like tough on Russia at all is a fucking joke.
And wasn't that when Flynn who said to the Russians, don't react. Don't do anything to our big expulsion.
That was before that. That was, yes. Yes, that was yeah, right. That was right before that. So he was basically saying it's all going to be for show, and you can send him back in later. Like that's what he was arranging with them. He's a fucking cretin. Like I just watched a documentary on January 6th. Like there's a couple of new ones that are out that create a composite of all the material that's available. And holy shit, this one focused on Ali Alexander, the Sammy Davis Jr. of Stop the Steal. You know, we're gonna stop the steal, man. That guy before he was busted trying to sex up teenage boys on Instagram, I think it was. Might have been Facebook. But before that, he was the architect of Stop the Steal. The phrase came from Roger Stone. The plan came from Ali Alexander. And like so much of that, you could fucking see. Like him sitting there talking to Mike Lindell, or Mike Flynn. You know, as part of this little war room they set up. I mean, fucking Bannon called his show The War Room for a reason. It was letting them know that this was post January 6th. What we're going to do is we're going to keep at this. And so he brought Mike Flynn and all these assholes on board. And Flynn is just parroting Russian talking points in the interview, just like it's the word for fucking word what we've heard from Russia. It's not even a variance. It's not even making the phrase your own, right? Jesus. And that guy is a traitor on all fronts. Just fucking gross.
Flynn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, Flynn should be in prison. I mean, that's my opinion. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he got pardoned, and that's part of our system. So you can't. What can you do? But
right.
I'm sure there's something else we can convict him on, because that guy is he's a traitor.
Yeah,
he's a criminal and a traitor, and he's
ongoing.
Done something else.
It's ongoing. It's not right. It is not
and
something.
His freaking brother. And I'm not one to transfer guilt, from one family member to another sort of thing. But his brother's in charge of what is it, SOCOM? Southern Command, I think it is. He's I'm double checking myself as I normally do. I don't know if it was SOCOM or CENTCOM. No, it wasn't CENTCOM. If he was CENTCOM, I would have remembered. But he's in command of an entire region, Pacific. He was the Pacific. His brother is in charge of all of our armed forces in the Pacific. And it's just like, okay, you can't transfer guilt. I get that. But if you read about Flynn, I mean, it was his son's involved in it. His wife's involved in it. His whole family has taken on this where we go one, we go all. There's a July 4th celebration or something with his entire family, and I don't know if his brother was there or not, of them doing the Pledge of Allegiance and then doing the where we go.
Yeah, the QAnon oath.
It's like, no, dude, you don't get to change the Pledge of Allegiance like that.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace to the uniform. He should be in prison. He's a traitor and a disgrace to the uniform. It's shocking. Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Yeah,
but back to the UNGA.
Sure.
Did you see, speaking about like empire and stuff, did you see the British foreign minister's speech?
No, I did not.
At the UNGA. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. So David Lammy is the British foreign minister, and he's sitting there and he's just excoriating the Russian, and he's like going, we see you guys. We see you. We see what you're doing. You can't hide anymore. You can't gaslight us anymore. We see. Well, by the way, Mr. Ambassador, you're sitting there on the phone, and he points out that the Russian minister is sitting there like going, yes, he's very upset. Yes, I can see that he's very upset. And the British ambassador, David Lammy's like, get off the fucking phone. I'm talking to you.
Right. Jesus.
And then he says, as he's wrapping up his speech to this guy, and this is what killed me, was he's like, as a black man who is a citizen of a former empire and is part of that former empire because of colonization, I'm a black man who is now the foreign minister of the United Kingdom. Don't tell me about empire and the consequences of empire. I know what the consequences of empire are.
Mhm.
You motherfuckers are acting as though you still have empire, an idea that we have all in the, advanced world or whatever you said, have agreed is an idea of the past. And
Yeah.
it's just, David Lammy.
I will watch the whole
know.
thing after the show today. No question.
He has been, he is getting my attention. The other thing, not UNGA, but there was the Pennsylvania factory visit by Zelensky where he signed the shell, and everybody went crazy about, like, how dare you sign shells? Well, I don't like it either. I think that whole tradition is kind of sick. But it's far less than what the Russians are doing. And, I mean, he's showing support for the manufacturers who are arming him. So
right. I have to say, in a war-like situation where you have situations like Bucha happening, and you have situations like the bombing of civilians in Odessa and that kind of stuff, and just the random bombing, I understand how you're going to deploy as much of your rage in a managed way as you possibly can. And one of the ways you're going to do that is to sign bombs and bullets and put your bullet with your name on it. That used to be the original idea. Was like, I'm going to find that fucker. There's a bullet with his name on it. And that came from the frustration of a victim. And that's the crucial part.
All this clutching of pearls, but they don't even actually care about that. All they're trying to do is secure.
No, if Trump did it, they think it was badass.
Oh yeah, Trump did it, they'd be like,
fucking macho as shit. Yeah, no.
Exactly.
If Trump went over and wrote his little like EKG heart attack scribble on Israeli bunker busters, like the Christians would go crazy. They'd say this is a sign that Christ is coming back. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Ben Shapiro would have to change his pants several times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know why there is this. I mean, I do know why, because it's political instead of it's a bipartisan thing that has been made political because Trump. Yeah, because Trump insists. Yeah. So I saw a couple of people writing on there like, no one should sign a bomb ever and blah blah blah, and I'm like, show me you're detached from the casualty of war, in a better way.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah, and also in the grand scheme of things, when we're digging babies out of rubble in Kharkiv, or we're having to recreate a child's oncology unit in Kiev.
Yeah.
Writing "go fuck yourself" on a shell.
Yeah. Is not that weird. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And
I'm not like for it, but at the same time, I'm like, we're in a war. People are fucking dying.
Yeah.
So,
meanwhile,
but I do get the sentiment, but you're wrong. You're wrong. As awful as I think the practice is pretty ugly, but so is killing children. So
yeah, right. I mean, they've got 60,000 kidnapped Ukrainian children that we know of. So, honest to God, it's not that you don't get outraged. It's just that every human has an outrage scale, and that doesn't even chart compared to what the Russians are doing. It's the same thing. It's kind of like the both siderism we see about like Harris and Trump or whatever. That if Harris reads off a teleprompter to give a well-crafted speech, she's not speaking extemporaneously. If Trump rambles his ass off, he's speaking extemporaneously. You don't get points for being a rambling dickhead. Oh, Buddha and Eagle, good to see you, man. Hi. Aloha. Thank you so much. Big hug.
And we are dropping a bomb on a person. The fact of whatever is written on it is kind of the lesser of the two grave, like the actual thing.
Nobody on the receiving end of these things is going, those motherfuckers.
They're gonna kill me with a bomb, those pricks, and they're writing nasty words on it. No.
Not only, not only did
you're
he
already killing the dude.
Yeah, right. Not only are they killing me, but they're being rude while it happens. My dad is calling me because he has no idea what I do for a living. Hold on.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm on the air. Can I call you back right after I'm done in another 5 minutes?
Absolutely. Happy birthday, boy.
Okay, thank you. Love you. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Love you.
Okay, bye. There it goes. All right, so
There's
that's
a good
it.
dad.
That's my
There's a
dad
good
calling
dad.
me.
There's a good dad calling
John,
you on your birthday. Well, then, look, then I am definitely not going to keep you from your dad, but I have to mention in our last kind of 5 minutes here, if we are, you know, there's so much more we can obviously talk about, but I have to mention this. Joseph Biden is probably one of the best presidents and just best people I have seen hold the office of president. That speech at the UNGA was, I mean, I wept. I mean, it's like, this was a difficult thing to do, but I am showing you, the world, how a democracy functions.
Yeah.
And what's more important than me holding power, which is the whole basis of our ideals in a liberal democracy. I mean, it is a pillar of our democracy. For him to have done that on his way out the door and to say, this is going to be my last speech as president of the United States. And the message I want to relay to you is, you holding on to power is not as important as the well-being of your citizenry and, you know, maintaining democracy. And it was just, I mean, he will
living by example.
He will be remembered. He will be remembered
as one of the greats, no question.
I will
say
this.
this.
I don't know if you were. That moved me. That moved me really powerfully.
I will say also that Joe Biden is the living example of the man who plants trees under which shade he will never sit. You know, that he is planning for the betterment of the people in his life and his family and the world and the nation based on this idea. I'm not going to get over that hill with you guys, but I'm going to make sure you get there as safely and as proudly and happily and as, you know, and thriving as much as I can.
International forum, to do it on the international stage, and to have the reaction in the UN to that speech of like, my gut tells me that there were a lot of people who did not have dry eyes as they were standing and applauding the president of the United States saying, you know, I walk it like I talk it. And you guys should too. You should too.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see Russia getting up. You don't see Lavrov.
Oh, fuck. You know, all we hear about is how Putin is setting up a system where he'll be, head of the CCP for life. And the same thing with Putin. Like, he gave up the pretense of swapping positions with the prime minister for the presidency, in like this weird cycle with him and Medvedev, where, you know, he gets to be in charge, but he pretends the other guy's in charge in 4-year cycles because legally that's how it's, you know, got to be done. And then after a while, he was just like tired of it. Just like, fuck it. I'll just stay, right? And Biden is in the era of that. We're seeing a group of people who, in a situation where they did have a change of leaders, at least for a period of time, are going, I'm not leaving. And Biden's like, I'm leaving. And that's what made this country great. That's what made George Washington one of our greatest leaders, because he could have stuck around. He was like, nope, I don't, the chance of becoming a king are too great. So no, I'm stepping down, going back to farming.
These guys, the Russians, the Chinese, whoever, they'll get up on that stage and they will talk about great, grand geopolitical ideas of dominion of this part of the world and dominion of that part and sovereignty of us, because you can't force us to be, you know, a liberal democracy loving LGBTQ and blah, blah, you know what, they'll go into these ideas of like, you know, we are big and powerful, and we have the right to do this and the right to do that and the sovereignty to do this and the sovereignty to do that. And what Biden did was get up on the stage and say, lead by example. I'm not worried so much about, I mean, he mentions all the issues that we have in the United States and what our interests are on the global stage. But he also, says you got, it's better when you empower your people. It works better for everybody when you, you enable your power through.
Yeah.
As
well, and
nasty
that power
as
has
our
more.
democracy.
That
You won't
power
see
also
you won't see Lavrov making that point.
No. I will say it makes that power have more meaning as well, because it's more valuable when you have it, because you do have the consent of the governed. That's crucial as well. So I really appreciate, by the way, you coming on today.
Go talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Bring these with me when we go to
Love
Sexy
it.
Liberal,
I look forward to seeing you.
You can have your hard rocking leather wristbands. Yeah.
That's right. Much love, brother.
Happy
Be safe.
birthday.
Thank you. And we will see you very soon. And I will see everybody else later this afternoon for the regular show before I go to dinner with my girl, and then spread out my birthday celebrations over probably 3 days. And those of you that are going to come to the Flapper Show on Friday, I'm going to have a little dinner right before the show. Hopefully Carl and others can meet me down there for that show, and we'll have a little like birthday dinner beforehand. And then same thing with the Phoenix Sexy Liberal Show on Saturday. So some sort of like little pre-gathering, depending on where I can find eat. Awesome. Thank you so much, brother, and be safe, and we'll see you very soon, okay?
All right. Happy birthday again. We'll talk to you on Saturday. Take care.
All right. Cheers. There he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Philip Ittner. Hasta luego. And yes, I will be streaming this afternoon. Flappers is in Burbank. If you're a Patreon, I live stream the show. And I guess we could technically post, pictures and stuff from gathering beforehand. But we'll figure out where I'm going to have the pre-dinner, whatever, close to Flappers on Friday. And yeah, it'll be all right. I mean, it's my birthday. I'm working extra hard this morning. Come on now. Come on. Hit the like, share the show, subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Have a beautiful day. I gotta call my dad back and talk to my mom. And I already talked to my mom and wished her happy birthday this morning. But we talked. It's just a regular thing. And it's just the important thing is that I don't start doing Midwestern goodbyes, because